Yeah, PJ, we were talking about the Spink GA, like, and we'll go back on it again. You were hugely involved with the Spink GA when they reformed the team up there, and you were very successful. So, it started, they were junior, obviously you had juvenile team come on, you had Enda Condren in the school,
Yes.
and then you started the juvenile, but built from there.
Yeah, I got involved at the juvenile level, and I got to know all the young lads, like, and registering the team and getting their dates of birth and all like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd done that before, years before with Ballapicus, but the dates of birth and where you lived wasn't that important. Like, we could play with Ballapicus once you showed up in the field. Like.
Yeah.
But like with the juvenile, it all had to be living in the parish and all that kind of stuff. Your mother and your father's name, and it was work, like.
Yeah.
But I done it. I don't know how I done it. And I ran the piggery as well at the same time.
Yeah.
I ran out here at the juvenile matches might be at 6:30 or 7 o'clock, and you had to go around and gather up kids, Mrs. Keogh and Peggy Costigan and the people around Spink, Ginny Brennan and
People,
so that's how it all started. Like, and I got to know all the young lads, and they were mad interested. Like, and I mentioned there about the yellow Mercedes. Like, I was famous with this yellow Mercedes. Like, and we were driving down the Dublin Road into Portlaoise one day after playing a match in the heat, and there was 4 lads sitting with their legs out of the back of the boot, like sitting on cushions with their legs out of the boot and the bonnet up, like.
Yeah.
No one said a word, like.
Yeah. They could see the big picture, sure. You had to get him there, you had to get him home.
They were thrilled, like. Because who would get into the back, like.
Yeah, but you were very successful at this now.
Anyway, with the juvenile, we didn't win any medals or anything at juvenile level. We didn't. The Ballynakill hurlers won at under 12 or under 14 at a certain grade, and that, and there was a few big Spink people playing for him and that, like, But anyway, it all started in. John Miller, like, was the driving force behind Spink, like, the whole way through, like.
Yeah.
I know I was the chairman, but John Miller was the boss.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was the football man,
He was the football man, and we respected him because he had won the Miller name, like, in Laois football, like,
got to be massive,
not to be sneezed at, like.
Yeah, and he won his senior final in 68 or 69, however it was.
That's right, and we were delighted to have him in Spink.
Yeah.
Now, he was a tough man, like. If you were to be taken off, you were taken off, and there was no two ways about it, like. And there was no favourites or
absolutely
whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe we did think he had favourites, like, but basically he was always right, like.
Yeah.
So we entered the junior team anyway in 1982. And can't really remember very much. I don't think we won a championship match for about. Haven't done any much research now on this.
Well, John Day, have you any figures or years on this when you started the
first 3 years were gone from enough to.
Oh my God, they were.
Yeah.
You were. We didn't. I can't remember winning anything.
In the early 80s.
In the 82, 83.
85 was the first time we drew a match.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And then 86 was our big breakthrough year, and it nearly didn't happen, like.
Yeah.
Because we were playing down in Stradbally, and things weren't going well in the first half. And as far as I remember, I think it was a point or two that Paddy Peppard got, like. Now, Paddy would have been very young then.
Oh, yeah.
Sparked something.
Yeah.
And we won by a point. That was the first round in 1986.
Yeah.
And I think we went over to Shanahoe to play Castletown. I think that's what's in me head. And Castletown were a serious outfit, like in the hurling. They were all playing football, the Coodies and all them lads. You want to be able to mind yourself.
Yeah.
But sure, Tom Miller, 1986, Tom Miller was 16, Tommy Gorman was 16, Dennis Cahill was 16. They were all junior footballers that year.
Yeah.
Francie Gorman was born in 1966. So he was 16, like.
Yeah.
In 1982. So in 86 he was 20.
Yeah.
So Francie was the senior member of the team. The twins were a year younger.
Yeah.
Francie Clement was the same age, and Paul Brennan. The average age of the team anyway in 1986 was 20 point something year. Do you remember we done that statistic, John?
Yeah.
But you yourself and Mike Mack drove up the average a bit. And Ned Day.
In 1986,
Yeah. So we got through the championship, like, and we were playing Rosenalice down in the final in Timahoe, like, and sure, Rosenalice was having the better of it anyway, like, and sure, with 5 minutes to go, like, I think we were 2 points or 3 points behind, like, and from nowhere, I mean, Dennis Cahill has a sweet left foot, like, and he got a loose ball somewhere around the 21-yard line. He done with a few fellas, like, and stuck it in the back of the net. Or then maybe it was Tommy Gorman, the Spink. So then Dennis Cahill landed a point, and sure, we won by 2 points. And sure, there was an old Macaboy fella. He was chairman of the Rosenalice team, and he was so sick. We went to the door of the Rosenalice team to ask him, would he like to come out to say a few words, and we'd commiserate with him or whatever. And so the man was white in the face, like, he was a man in his 70s. Because they were a prominent junior team at the time, like. I know they were back junior B, but I think they were after playing in a few finals and got bet. But to be bet by a team of whippersnappers from Spink, like,
they wasn't heard of up to now,
There was Tom Miller was playing in goal, and he was 16. Tommy Gorman was 16, Dennis Cahill was 16, like. And sure, there was hardly a muscle on him, like.
They're young lads.
Francie Fleming was probably 18.
They were talented enough, though, I have to say,
Oh, they were very talented. Absolutely. I don't know why we didn't.
So you went, that was junior.
86.
Yeah. Which grade in junior?
Junior B.
Junior
so
B.
So 87 came along then, and we won all our matches, like, and got to the final against Portlaoise. And I remember Bernie had to go down to Carlow to see the GA correspondent. What was his name, Bear? Oh, sure, he made little of Spink. Oh, we know what the result of this is going to be. Like, you're playing Portlaoise in the junior final. That's Portlaoise's second best team. Sure, a few years ago they won the All-Ireland Championship. Sure. What hope have ye, like? So there's a few old stagers in that Portlaoise. They're shifting 17-year-olds, like. Sure, saying like, we bet Portlaoise, like. Sure, the place really went to fire. Like.
Absolutely. Well, I remember that,
And so it was brilliant, like. It was brilliant, like, for the like of Peggy Costigan and Betty Cahill and old Tommy Gorman. I won't say old. Tommy, the father of the boys, like, and all.
Lord Mercy,
Vincent Keogh, and like.
Brought the whole place to life,
Absolutely, for me and for everyone, like.
Absolutely.
I was the chairman of the club, like, and they thought I was responsible for generating this, like. But John Miller was the man, like, saying in the team and all like that.
He was working the hedge,
and so the next thing was, anyway, we were intermediate, like. We played a few rounds of the intermediate, and so we were going grand, and we met Rattanesca, like, down in Timahoe one evening, like, and like, we were supposed to win that as well, like, even, but Rattanesca were Hardy boys too, like.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know, so there was McDonald's playing down there now. They were, and there was Brennan's. They were cousins of Paul, weren't they, John? No? I didn't really know them anyway, like, but like, they were a serious outfit, like, sure, Jenny didn't beat us by a point or two. And we were shocked and disappointed, like, we thought we were going to do, we thought we were going to do the 3 in a row, like, Junior B, Junior A, and intermediate. But anyway, that didn't deter us. We didn't do Ballapicas on it. We reformed and went in the following year. So that would have brought us up to
1988.
That was 88. That was the year we were beaten in the intermediate, like, by Rattanesca. And then we started out in 89, like. I can't really remember who we were playing against anyway, but we met Port Harlington in the final. And sure, like, Port Harlington was the same as it was put to us, like, it was the same as it was a great Port Harlington, like, could be a very respectable football team and a big population, like, and had won senior finals and all like that. And I remember Stevie Allen was playing full back or centre back that year, and he had won an All Ireland. He had won a Leinster medal with Laois Miners, I think, in would have been 67. So he was 37 or 8 years of age,
yeah,
like.
yeah.
But he was still a fit man, like.
And
there was plenty of other lads like him on the team, ex-seniors, like.
Yeah, yeah.
And they had good young minors as well.
Yeah.
So we weren't supposed to win that, but I think it ended in a draw the first day.
Yeah.